Yo, what's up? It's your boy Serrano. Welcome back to another video. So today's video, we have the Umidigi G3 MAX against the Umidigi A15. And so both of these devices are brand new. They both have Android 13. They're also going to be in the budget price point. And so you can pretty much pick both of these up for under $180. So this one's about $169, $139, depending on when you pick it up. Whereas the Umidigi G3 MAX is going to be about $130. So they're both very well priced, and they both are going to offer some really cool features that I want to jump into in this video. So make sure you guys stay locked into the end of the video. But if you're brand new to the channel, I truly appreciate you for coming through if you're new. But if you're already a part of the crew, salute. So inside the box, you're obviously going to get the cases that come with both phones. I kind of prefer the smoky case, which is sort of like a gray color, but it's also translucent and clear, but it just has that little hint of gray. So it's going to be, it's going to combat fingerprints and smudges a little bit better, as well as like yellowing effect. So you can see how both of these phones are built, which we'll get into in just a second. But unboxing them, we get an 8 watts fast charger, which isn't really fast charging for the G3 MAX, and we get a 20 watts fast charger when it comes to the A15. So you get a faster charging speed and a bigger brick when it comes to the Umidigi A15. You can see they did give you the fast charging brick included inside of the package, and then you're also getting the charging cable as well as the tool to actually remove the SIM card slot as well. So it's got the black tips with the red on there, and so both of these devices do come packed with user manuals as well, and they do give you cases on both smartphones. Now, taking a look at the bodies, when we're comparing both of these smartphones, we actually get a leather feel design to the Umidigi G3 MAX, and we get a smooth matte finish to the Umidigi A15 series. And I really like both. The way they both feel is very, very unique, the way they have these premium materials. Now the A15 does have like a plastic side, I think, which it does kind of feel like metal, but it geared more towards like plastic, whereas the G3 MAX is definitely going to be like metal on the sides, but they both feel like metal. So they're both very premium when it comes to the overall designs. And then so you're getting a 6.6 inch 1080 by 2008 display on the G3 MAX, which is actually full HD. So it's going to get brighter, and it's going to actually have a better display on this one. It's going to look really good when it comes to the overall viewing angles. It's got like a really, really bright full HD display, and you're getting the 6.7, full view display on the A15, which is going to be 720 x 1650. So the display is going to be less it's going to be less of a resolution. So you're going to get a slightly lower resolution on the A15, but a bigger display. So I just want to make that something to note on both of these devices. So when you're taking a look at the build quality, you can see we do get the volume rockers up and down right above the power button, which is also going to double as the fingerprint sensor. And as far as both fingerprint sensors, I just want to show you that they are very quick. When using the fingerprint sensors, Umidigi has managed to get you a really fast and responsive fingerprint. You also do get lift to wake, and when you lift it, it'll give you the face unlock. You also get the trusted unlock on here, which is going to basically unlock it as long as it's on your body. It'll unlock quicker. So I like the fact that they both have really good facial recognition and fingerprints. So you can see at the top we do have microphones as well as 3.5 headphone jacks, which is going to be pretty cool for listening to your media and entertainment. You're on the back, you're going to get your 50 megapixel main camera on the Umidigi and your 64 megapixel camera on the A15. And so there's a triple camera setup on this guy, and it's going to give you a 16 megapixel on front and an 8 megapixel on the G3 MAX. So as far as the overall designs, they're both really nice. You can see we get that Type-C charging cable on both, microphone on the bottom, as well as the single firing speaker. And the Umidigi A15 is slightly taller. They're also pretty much identical when it comes to the width of each device. So they have pretty much the same width, but the height is going to be slightly taller on the A15. As far as how they feel when you put them on a table, they don't really rock at all. So I like that part about them, is that they're not going to rock when you put them on a flat surface, which is another thing. And you also do get Android 13 running on both of these devices. Now, jumping into the memory and the storage of both of these devices, if we go into a storage, we have 256 gigabytes on the A15, which is an enormous amount of storage to work with for a budget device. But we also do get 128 on the G3 MAX, and so that's going to be really solid when it comes to using both of these devices. So generally speaking, budget phones usually come with a low amount of memory, but both of these devices actually have memory expansion. So I noticed that when I go here, you can see that I have 8 gigabytes of memory. I'm not sure if you can see that, but with the virtual memory, I've added an additional 8 gigabytes to it. And this one actually has 8 gigabytes of memory, but it also expands up to 6 gigabytes of additional virtual memory. So you get 16 on here, but then this one right here is giving you the 8 plus the 6, making it a little bit less than the 815 as far as the memory. But just keep in mind, you do get the full HD display on the G3 MAX with metal materials, and then you get the 720 display on the A15 as well. Now, one of the things I do like about the A15 that the G3 MAX doesn't have is that they put a dedicated button shortcut key, a hotkey was like what they like to call it. And so if you go into settings on this device, if you go up, you can see we have the hotkey, which you can designate. Right now I have it set up for my recording, so if I want to do a note real quick, I could do that. But you could also launch SOS, screenshot, flashlight, or you can go into any application and launch any application. So single click will start recording, double click I have for the flashlight. So if I double click that hotkey, it's going to turn on and off the flashlight. And then if I long press right here for like 3 or 4 seconds, I can screenshot. So the G3 MAX doesn't have the capability, like it doesn't have that built-in hotkey. So I really like that hotkey for some reason. It's just really good. Obviously you can launch the camera with the double tap on the camera right there on both of these devices. They both have the double tap to launch the camera, and so you're getting the 50 megapixel on the G3 MAX and the 64 megapixel on the A15. Now jumping into some of the settings, you're going to see right here we do have a mode for 64 megapixel and 50 megapixel, so you can use each device with the high resolution camera. So I think that's going to be pretty cool for both, that they do also have that feature. It might take a few extra seconds, but you can see some additional features: night mode, QR scanner, slow motion mode, time lapse on the G3 MAX, but we have night mode, macro, wide angle, slow motion, time lapse, and QR scanner. So they do give you the macro and the wide angle camera on here, which is going to be an advantage, and they both record at 1080 30 frames per second maximum. So 16 megapixel front camera. They both have that waterfall drop notch at the top. This one is a slightly it's a slightly you can see a dip. The dip on here is a little bit more aggressive, whereas the G3 MAX one is a little bit more less aggressive. It's like it's a little more subtle. But when it comes to these devices, they both have really good overall, displays. Obviously the G3 Max is going to be a little bit brighter, and I'm putting them up at full brightness so you can see the difference, and they're both at full brightness, but they do also have Android 13 on both. The only thing that's different is that we are getting NFC on the A15, and we don't have NFC on the G3 Max. So that's, something that you can kind of compromise. If you want to get the G3 Max, you're not going to get the NFC on there, but I just want to mention that as well. So the better display is going to be definitely the G3 Max. If you watch like a YouTube video on both of these, you're going to notice the difference when looking at the displays. So I'm going to let you hear the speakers on the G3 Max, and then I'm going to let you hear the speakers on the A15. And the volume buttons are the same. Let's see. So they both sound really good when I'm listening to the audio. Let's do that one more time. So pretty close when it comes to the audio. You could barely tell the difference. It sounds like they're using the same exact speakers on both of these devices, but I'm not sure really like which one sounds better because they're so close. Now when it comes to the actual pictures of the movies and stuff, I just wanted to show you guys what it's going to be looking like when you put them side by side. So it's going to be a little bit brighter on the G3 Max when it comes to the display. That's just something you're going to notice because it has a full HD panel on there. So it's going to give you better colors, better brightness as well. And so that's something that's really key to note. But the A15 is going to be 207 grams, whereas the G3 Max is going to be 192. So it's going to be slightly lighter. And then you're getting the AG matte glass on the A15 with the metal frame, and then on the Umidigi G3 Max you're getting that like fake leather on the back of it with the metal frame, which is also something that's pretty cool. So I definitely think they both have really good displays. They also both have that really good setup when it comes to the buttons, but you get that hotkey button on the A15, making it a little bit more versatile, more storage on the A15 versus the G3 Max. So I just kind of wanted to throw that out there as well. As far as battery life, you're getting a 5,000 milliamp hour battery with 20 watts fast charging on the A15, and then you're getting the 5,150 milliamp hour battery with 10 watts charging on the G3 Max. So you can see the way that the phones look. If I go into some of the settings and I go into display, one of the things I noticed is that the G3 Max will have a refresh rate, sampling rate at 60, but you actually get the touch response rate at 120. So that means things will actually move. They'll actually respond quicker when you're hitting the buttons, but it just doesn't have the 90 hertz or 120 hertz setting. But they're both rocking 60 hertz displays on both of these. So I just want to mention that so you can kind of see that the A15 won't have that sampling rate that the G3 Max has, but they both do have video enhancement, so you can actually get better coloring on both of the displays. You can get that backlight power savings mode as well. You can get some cool features when it comes to the adaptive brightness and the timing out. But I really like the fact that the G3 Max has that touch sampling rate, which is going to be really quick. When you touch the screen, it's very quick to respond to what you're doing, making it a little bit better when it comes to actually performing gaming and performance in gaming, which we're going to jump into in just a second. They're going to both have that TFT IPS display panel, and as far as the G3 Max right here, it's going to basically give you some pretty good performance, like when you're gaming and stuff like that. It's going to be pretty responsive on here. And I really like this device, especially because it has that touch sampling rate, which is going to be 120, but it just has a 60 hertz display, so it's going to increase the overall performance. It's going to have the T606 from Unisoc, which is the processing chip on here, but it's going to deliver a pretty exceptional performance on here for the price. So I am extremely impressed with the hardware on this device. It just feels really good. When I'm using it in the hand, it feels perfect in the palm of my hand. I feel like I don't really need to have like a case on this when I'm using it. So I really like the performance on this guy. But when it comes to jumping into the performance on the A15 right here, it's going to also be slightly better performance because it's going to have the MediaTek. It's not going to be a MediaTek. It's going to be the Unisoc T616, which is slightly better of performance that you're going to be getting, but compared to the clock speed of 1.6 compared to 2.0 when it comes to the processing of the CPU. They both have some pretty decent heat dissipation, so the optimization is very well optimized for both of the phones. But this one, I just am impressed. I like how my finger rests right underneath the camera bar. When I'm using it, it just feels extremely responsive and very, very nice in the hand. It's very sturdy. This side piece on this device, just like right here where you grip it, feels really good because it's flat with rounded corners, so it just fits very well in the hand. So when it comes to gaming on both of these devices, I can definitely say it's going to be a solid experience when it comes to both. Let me know what you guys think about both of these smartphones, and let me know if I missed anything. But obviously you're going to get NFC on the A15 and you're not going to get that on the G3 MAX, but the G3 MAX will give you a better display, and you will get better charging speeds on the A15, and the hotkey button is something that I really like about the A15. The G3 MAX, I really like that texture on the back. You also get that wide angle and macro camera on the A15, where you just get the night camera on the G3 MAX. So there's a bit of differences between both. Let me know what you guys think. Which one would you pick up? I'm gonna check you guys in the next video. Make sure you stay locked in. If you're still here, just type down below I'm still here, so I know you're still kicking it with me. And I just want to remind you to hit the like button so we can get this video out to more people and help beat the YouTube algorithm. And I'm gonna check you guys later. Okay, peace.